Good evening and welcome, Australia New Zealand Dota fans. I'm Wandering Bear here with you guys today for Clutch Gaming, and with me, Matt. Say hello, Matt.
Hey, Wandering Bear, how you going? It's good to
Not
be
too
here.
bad, man. Not too bad. A little bit tired. Had to bike to a fish and chip shop today, but other than
It
that,
happens. It happens, man.
I know, and my fat little nerd legs just couldn't do it. But yeah, we're looking forward to the games tonight. We've got Tyrant Esports versus Paragon Esports today, I believe. Is that right?
That is in fact correct. We've got this is a big match tonight. This is number 1 Tyrant versus number 3 on Paragon. So this is battle for first place right now. I believe
Wow.
either team that wins is going to be first. I mean, Tyrant already first, but that'll solidify their position.
It's going to be killer, man. It's going to be a big game, and I mean, from what we were saying just before we went live, I believe like these are the two giants of the CyberGamer ladder at the moment. Just a quick plug that we are casting the CyberGamer ladder, so feel free to check them out at cybergamer.co.au, I think.
Yeah, I believe you're right there. And also, you can request a cast from us at clutchgaming.co.nz. So we will pick up sort of any cast that that we can have time for, really. So we do it all.
Definitely. So yeah, these guys on the CyberGamer ladder are number 1 and number 3. I think they've got a pretty good streak right now, sitting at like 7-2, 7-3 for both of them. I think you were saying earlier.
Yeah, I think actually I think Tyrant has only lost once. I think they're 7-1. They are on some sort of huge roll, and their last game, who did they verse? Legion Gaming. It was fairly one-sided. They did really well on the side of Tyrant there.
Yeah, I think I am. In fact, I know that I cast that game.
You were there.
And Tyrant had a really strong performance. Legion had some interesting stuff going on, but it did feel like they weren't quite able to keep up with Tyrant. And also, I remember from that game when I was trying to redo my research that Legion seemed to have been kind of disbanded and rebanded and a little bit shaky recently. So maybe just not having as much experience with the rest of their team as they could have. Whereas Tyrant seemed to have a really strong history. Overall, we saw some just great matches from them.
Yeah, we've seen some great play from them. Also, some great picks as well. They are using the meta to its full advantage right now. We saw last game they picked up the Chaos Knight IO combo. I mean, I know that's been a big thing in previous metas, but specifically Chaos Knight, we're seeing a lot of things like Sven as well, and things like Ursa even being picked up lately. Just these carries that can shine without items and really just fight early.
Yeah, unfortunately for Legion, they did just let that Chaos Knight go a little bit crazy. He did quite a bit of farm, and then he was just kind of. I think there was one fight near the end there where Legion got a great fight, wiped 4 of them, but then cleanup crew Chaos Knight came in, dropped an ult, and just proceeded to absolutely monster his way through the rest of them. No problems, no questions asked. So. Just shows you that even heroes that are out of the meta right now can be super strong when put in the right hands and given enough farm to kind of get their things done. Super interesting match though that one was, and I mean, yeah, I'm hoping to see a really killer match tonight. I mean, this should be a close match. These guys are both super good teams. I think I've seen Paragon play once before as well. I believe I casted a game from Paragon quite early in the Clutch Gaming career.
Yeah. They had a game against Invidious. I remember that being quite a good game. They picked OD as their mid, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, he might have been safe lane actually, if I recall correctly. But yeah, they played it really well. He's another hero that's really coming through this patch specifically since he's been changed.
Definitely. I mean, Odie just shooting into popularity at the moment. Just the ability to just have this sustained fight. The longer a fight goes for him, just the bigger he gets. Constantly stealing it, constantly getting bigger and bigger. And I mean, the later he can throw down his Sanity's Eclipse, just the more damage he's getting. Just wants to keep throwing those orbs out over and over until he's almost out of mana. Essentially, and I mean that's pretty hard when you're leeching intelligence anyway, and then just boom, throw down these huge nukes. He's just super scary, super able to do almost anything at the moment.
Here's a question for you, Bear. How about OD versus Slark 1v1, same levels, same items, like or similar gold items, just hitting each other. Who wins?
I honestly don't know.
Who steals more?
I'm not sure, but I am in fact googling it right now. I'm gonna get the Google foo out. I think I think probably.
I think my
Just,
money
if
was on
they're
OD.
just
just
hitting
because
each
it's pure
other.
damage.
If they
Yeah.
were just hitting each other, I'd have to say Slark because OD's ability has to be on autocast at least for him to be able to steal those stats.
He's right clicked it before the fight.
He's right clicked it before the fight, but no other skills.
Yeah.
Well, I think that is a pretty questionable scenario. However,
I mean, even with skills, that's probably way more interesting because then Slark has some free time to smack away at him with his ult.
Slark at level 25 has a 1.04 attacks per second, and OD at level 25 has 1.12 attacks per second, so it's already attacking faster. With an intelligence steal on his arcane orb of 5, whereas Slark is only stealing 3 and gaining 3 agility every time. So I think we have to give this to OD. He's just going to get bigger and bigger. And on top of that, even without the essence shift, OD is getting, like you said, that pure damage from 9% of his mana pool.
Yeah.
And that's going to be pretty high because he's not casting any other spells in your scenario. So I've got to give it to OD in that scenario. Like, I mean, I can't see. He's definitely not out stealing stats.
Yeah,
he's still getting
stack him with
2
intelligence as well.
He's getting 2, and every 10 hits, he's getting an extra 5. So I mean, huge. Unless the Slark has like a Daedalus or something, that could be scary. What if he has a Skadi? What if the Slark has a Skadi? I mean, that's going to slow down Odie's attacks. It could start to switch. It could push it in a different direction.
I really think it's quite one-sided, honestly. Stupid question. Stupid answers.
It was questionable. It was a questionable question.
Questionable questions coming out from the side of the mic.
But we digress. I mean, yeah. I mean, are you looking forward to seeing any particular heroes tonight, man? I mean, we have obviously got the Shanghai Major going on as well, so.
Yeah, I mean, no one's going to be watching us anyway, right? The EG game's going on right now.
I don't know, man. With the production issues they've been having, maybe they need some good old-fashioned clutch gaming production quality.
Yeah, I mean, I should have hit up Gabe after they dropped their team.
You should. He even dropped his email address into the post, Mads. He dropped it in there exactly so you could email him and say, Gaben, our Lord and Savior, I have a proposal for you.
I mean, we're pretty small on the scene, but
for the low price of our flights to Shanghai from New Zealand, a mere $2,000 per head round
trip. That's a hell of a deal. I mean, he's coming out better off. You know, he gets us, we get flights there. Yeah, it's even.
It is. We are incredibly good looking.
I mean, you can't see us. You have to take our word for it. But I mean, you're right. You're exactly right.
Definitely 10 out of 10.
So enough.
Well, they can actually see you because I believe our high quality, our high quality production manager, Mr. Edenlaw, has in fact got a picture of your handsome mug right up on the front of our stream right now.
Oh,
I can't see it.
This changes everything.
But I believe they do. But we are getting into the lobby now after this great banter that we've had.
I think I'm getting fired after this one.
You jumping in this lobby, Mads?
Yeah, give me 1 sec.
Nice. You got the password there?
Yeah, just reading it.
Cool.
I'm pretty slow. I'm in. It's all on, boys. Alright. Predictions.
Sorry for the very loud typing, yeah.
Sounds like a nice keyboard though. I'm calling Tyrant on this one.
You're calling Tyrant?
I'm gonna have to go with the leaderboard and
it's a hard one. Let me look. I've got some information here. So both teams are pretty big fans of Clockwork, so that could be a contested pick there. Tyrant do have a history of bat in the offlane though, which is pretty strong. We have seen a lot of that lately. See, we've just had this great banter and now I have to drop all this knowledge bombs. Prove that we're competent at what we do.
Hey, I just look at the numbers, man. I look at first place versus third place. That can only go one way, right?
Fair enough. What else have we got here? I mean, Tyrant do like to play super duper aggressively, which does really fit the meta right now. I mean, big pushes, making great use of their early early momentum to move into a late game that's very strong has been something we've seen a lot of in Shanghai, has been a lot of what we've seen in the recent games, and I mean, definitely in the Australia and New Zealand meta, for anyone who's not familiar with it, aggressive kind of team fighty compositions seem to do very, very well. We see a lot of kind of roaming as five, a lot of strong team fight having a lot of success. I guess maybe we're just a little bit behind the traditional meta, but until someone kind of comes up with,
man. We're in front.
we're in front. We're rolling. We're so far ahead, mads, that we've rolled all the way back around to right back at the start of Dota 2.
We're 2 patches in front before the patch notes have even hit yet.
Like that classic fashion saying everyone's like, right? You know, you got to keep those clothes for 30 years because they'll be back in fashion soon. Well, here in Australia and New Zealand, you got to keep those strategies for 30 years because they'll be back in fashion soon.
Yeah, saving strats for TI 15.
Yeah, and then Australia and New Zealand, boom, straight to the front of the pack in the Dota scene.
That's my dream. I just want to see an Aussie or New Zealand team at a TI. I don't even care if they
didn't
lose.
Didn't Godot make it there? Doesn't Godot live in Oz?
Well, I think he played in it. I don't know if it was an Australian team though.
He played in like TI2, but yeah, I don't know if he was Australian team or not. Who knows?
This was way back in the day.
If someone in chat knows, tell us.
Tell us now.
The producer will pass it on because I can't have chat open right now. I'm sorry. It'll be too distracting for me.
All right, we're talking first ban. I'm gonna throw out Lone Druid. This is gonna be my first ban.
You reckon Lone Druid?
Yep.
Lone Druid is a super popular ban lately. It's a Savage Raw, man. The Savage Raw on the offlane. I mean, you an offlane player yourself. Just like definitely probably understand that, but he is.
I mean, he yells
so
at you. You run away.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basic math.
He is practically Clint Eastwood. He just wants you to get off his lawn.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Lone Druid could be a super strong first ban. I would expect to see maybe an Earth Spirit or Invoker super early, but it's very, very difficult to tell. If I have a look over at our likely picks, Paragon don't really have a lot of common carry picks, so it's sort of hard to say. And their match history on Dota Buff is a little bit limited. Once again, and I didn't quite have enough time before this match to go over all of the players' individual pub histories and try and get some analysis out of there.
Man, that's poor planning from you there.
I'm sorry, man. I'm really sorry. I profusely apologize to you. On the other hand, we do have.
We're just loading in now, boys.
Yeah, just loading in. Just getting a little bit, getting some messages from our producer there. We do have their safe lane player for Tyrant, Jet. Pretty big on SF, Quap, Tiny, Garo, Invo. So could see the Invoker bans if Paragon looking to get some targeted bans, remove some big heroes. jungle, which is always fantastic. Just being able to remove a little bit of strain from XP in that lane. And can, of course, also just chuck out a huge amount of damage with those impetus lances, and very, very difficult to damage with the chains thing. I can't remember what it's called.
Untouchable? Is that what you're talking
That
about?
one,
Yeah.
exactly. I just remember it has chains and yellowness.
Yeah.
We are going to see immediately after that bans on the Odie and Earth Spirit. Odie, like we said before, super strong hero, very, very good at what he does, just able to constantly threaten out anyone in the lane, and long fights he just becomes so big and scary. And Earth Spirit, just an overall popular ban, super big ban.
There's my lone druid.
Majors that we've seen.
There he is.
There is the lone druid, not first ban but close, and Tyrant immediately going to pick up the Evoker, a hero that they had pretty good success with last time. And it looks like Angie Verona is actually drafting for them. Angie Verona, also their mid player from our history anyway. So likely going to see him in mid. So he's picking up a nice early hero there that he can be a playmaker in. And if he is their captain, which is most common with drafters for this scene anyway, also I would have made just a really great playmaking hero there.
Yeah, so Invoker has been nerfed, but I mean even in the pro scene he's still getting picked up a lot. So it hasn't seemed to have affected him that much. Straight away though, from Paragon we've got the Faceless Void Witch Doctor combo. This is incredibly strong with the Chrono into Death Ward, which both these heroes are getting picked up a lot, and obviously Faceless Void right now very strong in the offlane position.
Definitely, I mean, he is just a crazy strong hero, able to put out a ridiculous amount of damage, so super difficult to say. And especially with the Witch Doctor, it's a very, very strong combo. Interesting with his new time dilation. How do you feel about that skill match?
I think it counters certain heroes very well. Like the Faceless Void now is a great pick against Invoker, and so, well, I guess not so much Invoker because if he's good Invoker anyway, but things like Lena, Skywrath Mage, anything that just puts out a lot of low cooldown abilities. It's great against Weaver too, who is actually getting picked up lately. So, but it seems like the teams aren't picking him up for that specific skill anyway. It's more for just his general tankiness in the offlane.
Absolutely. I mean, he has just had a slew of nerfs. Well, not nerfs, but buffs.
Well, changes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to say. They changed the hero so much.
But they did a great job of moving him into this offlane support role, which is really cool for him because he was kind of falling out of play as a carry. Gonna see a Venge response there from Tyrant Esports though. Vengeful Spirit Vengeful Spirit and Witch Doctor actually been really popular heroes in the scene lately. I mean, what do you think about these? They are just really standard strong heroes.
Well, the Venge is good specifically for this pick because it counters the Chronosphere a little bit, because he can just, whoever gets chronoed, as long as he's standing back, he can swap himself in and save them. But in general, Vengeful Spirit's strong mainly because of her aura, and which helps in so many team lineups, just extra damage. So you can't complain with that. Yeah. And she's just a solid support really, minus armor, stun. It's all good stuff.
Follow-up bans going to Puck and Clinks there. Interesting bans from Tyrant. Seem to be relatively targeted. Maybe they've got a history with Paragon or kind of know what they're up to. Was Paragon going to go ahead and ban Io, and then start to drop towards reserve time. Not quite going into their reserve time. We're going to ban a Slardar there. Not interesting ban. Not a hero that I would find super threatening, but maybe they're looking to run some kind of stealthy or anything like that, which Slardar is definitely going to have a great time against. They go ahead and pick up a Night Stalker. Do you think we're going to be seeing this Night Stalker in middle against an Invoker maybe, or possibly a roaming Night Stalker?
It's generally roaming like a 4 position. You mainly pick him for his map presence. So maybe they're going to be picking a hero like Spectre, possibly Nature's Prophet, although they've already got an offlaner. You generally pick him if you want to find kills. He would go well with a Bat Rider, actually, for a mid position, I think.
Definitely. I mean, that roaming Night Stalker popularized, I think, mostly by Na'Vi, and TI4 played him to some great success. With, I think, Sineko was playing him? I can't even remember. No, it wouldn't have been Sineko. He was always on Winter Wyvern and heroes like that. So, no, yeah, but A super strong hero has been doing really, really well lately.
Yeah.
With the roaming build, not necessarily super well, but definitely of note in the pick.
You've got to combo him with other heroes though, because like I said, he just runs around really fast, like looking for action. He does go well with Faceless Void, who can jump in and catch people out with chronos. If you Tyrant Esports though, you're going to see this pick, and you're going to want to sort of pick more defensively against this. Yeah, there you go.
There goes the Winter Wyvern.
Great
Perfect
pick.
pickup against the Night Stalker.
Yeah, counters a lot of his early aggression, which is nice, and gives you great team fight as well.
And it's a great counter to Void as well. I mean, if they throw down a chrono, I think her Winter's Curse is long enough range to just counter curse the Void. Or even if you can curse an ally near the Void, but outside the chrono, it's going to pull him away from it, which is the ideal scenario.
And so, you can curse the Witch Doctor while he's death warding as well. It's just
absolutely
very defensive from them so far. So it looks like,
and if it's only a solo catch in the thing, the Cold Embrace is going to be a great skill to go down if it's just one person in the chrono or just a key target of the chrono.
Yeah, and that Cold Embrace also blocks the death ward damage too because it's physical. And straight away we got a Sven in Alina.
Sven has been very popular lately as well. Just a really strong fighty carry.
Yeah, these early aggression carries are becoming more and more popular. Also another aura for them, the Warcry going well.
Yeah, I think Tyrant have a big history with the aura game. We did see, I think, in the Tyrant versus Legion game a little while back, we saw them run this Invoker, Venge, and I think Drow combo. To just have a huge amount of right-click output on these characters. And I mean, Invoker already comes into lane with a massive right-click, so if you throw him out an extra thing like that, that's pretty scary. Sven, I don't think you can actually disjoint the Stormhammer anymore, can you?
You can, yes.
You can? Okay. So, I mean, but still a pretty reliable stun if they don't have any way to disjoint it.
Yeah, I mean, Sven just combos quite well with the rest of their team. Invoker with Alacrity, obviously great for Sven, because he just wants to be hitting as fast as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're comboing that with a Warcry and eventual spirit damage buff, it's going to be a lot of damage.
So, do we think this lane is going mid, and thus they'll be looking for their safe laner? Looks like Tyrant thinks so, banning out the Morphling there. You're probably going to want a ranged carry, I would assume. Maybe like a good gyrocopter would work well with the Faceless Void.
Yeah, Paragon does definitely have a history with Gyro. We've also seen them pick up Showfiend before. Not sure if it's necessarily in a safe lane position or a mid lane position, but it could be very, very strong. We do see, though, Paragon banning out the Clockwork against Tyrant for their off-lane Clockwork, someone they're pretty big on. What do you think we may be seeing from Tyrant coming up in that next pick? I would really love to see like a Bat Rider or something like that. Been a super strong hero lately and will fit really nicely into that off-lane, especially against like a Witch Doctor plus whoever. It's going to be like pretty hard to lock a Bat Rider down.
I think that would be nice. I would like to see some more aggression out of their last pick, because Venge and Winter Wyvern are very defensive. Neither of them bring much in terms of damage. Winter Wyvern early, she's okay, but otherwise you don't want to be solely relying on the Sven Invoker, so I'd like probably to see a tri-core lineup from them here. Paragon taking a while on this. I mean, I don't think Gyro was banned, was it? I think that's probably the pick I would go for. They're going for a Slark, which is interesting. Looks like they are going for a sort of pick-off orientated lineup here. That would have been a thing of beauty. I'm still in, I believe.
Take it over while I watch this delightful Invoker concept art loading screen.
I mean, I'm still looking at the pick screen, so I haven't got very far.
Me too, and it looks like almost everyone from Tyrant. No,
I'm in.
There we go.
12, please. Diverting all traffic to EG. Alright, we'll just see what's happening here. We'll be away in a minute, I imagine, once both teams get sorted and everyone's reconnected.
Right, I am back in, I think, pending further reconnection problems. Watching this delightful invisible vengeful spirit, always fun.
So that last pick, Slark, quite interesting. I think it shows you what sort of lineup they have gone for. They're going to be using the Night Stalker for vision, roaming the map with the Slark, looking for pickoffs. I mean, they're against the heroes where they can get pickoffs for the most part. None of the heroes on Tyrant, bar Invoker, I guess you could say, have really great escape abilities. I mean, you got the Surge from Darkseer, but that's about it. If they get caught out by this team, they're in trouble. Looks like we're away now.
Definitely, so going into this game, we're going to be seeing Angie Verona on the Invoker there, Dark Destroyer on the Darkseer taking the offlane. Emperor Bob will be playing the Sven, a series of symbols in some Asian dialect which I cannot speak. Will be playing a Vengeful Spirit and elusively on the Winter Wyvern there, their traditional kind of support player. The Darkseer, though, immediately teleports out almost, I think. He was out there fast and throws down a ward block there. But on the other hand side, we're going to be seeing Pooh on the Lena, Eve Aizen on a Night Stalker, Hontrash on a Witch Doctor, Tranquillo on Slark, and CSGO Lounge Athlete on the Faceless Void there, going into this great match. Once again, guys, this is Paragon Esports versus Tyrant Esports on the CyberGamer AU ladder for Dota 2. Feel free to check us out. Feel free to check them out rather at cybergamer.co.au. And I am a wandering beer here with Mads. We're from Clutch Gaming. We are a casting team to cast for anyone who wants it, so feel free to check us out, clutchgaming.co.nz. You can request a cast on there for any of your games, and we'll get around to it if we're able to with our time schedules. Really looking forward to seeing more matches in the Australia and New Zealand scene, but we're going to see Dark Destroyer going in here, looking to secure this room. Both teams have everyone around this river.
Who's Dark Destroyer?
The Darkseer.
I'm just messing with you.
Dark Destroy Nova, whatever it is. In fact, both teams kind of leaving the top, and the CSGO Lounge Athlete on Void there, able to just go ahead and pick up the bounty rune.
Just had a stroll up there. That's fine. Yep. I'll take that. No one else wants it.
One going for each team, but surprised that we didn't see any fighting there. I guess Paragon happy to not really commit to that. I guess Darkseer is pretty scary in the early game. That Ion Shell does do a lot of damage, 30 damage per second.
Looks like they're going in on the Lena, really.
Yeah, they are. They're going to throw in a Cold Snap in combination with that Arctic Burn. It looks like the Arctic Burn ticks might actually trigger the Cold Snap as well, so that Lena's going to go ahead and lose half her health pretty early. Putting the already strong laning presence of Invoker in a great position there. And bottom lane, we are going to see the Darkseer going right in on this Slark, and I mean Slark just a nightmare to go up against.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough lane for them because 2 melees against the Darkseer. Good luck with that, especially Slark being not the tankiest melee in the game either. So
absolutely, and I mean Darkseer versus melee is just your dream. I mean you're going to chuck down Iron Shells on all these creeps. The Slark is never going to get a chance to get last hits without taking a bit of damage, and until he's 6, he's just going to constantly be taking this chip damage. And there we go, we see him taking this chip damage right here. The Night Stalker's going to come in, but this Darkseer can just walk around behind, see us with impunity. The Night Stalker may actually die here if he's not careful. They're going to commit a lot to it, and he's actually going to overcommit and get caught, but so close.
That was
so close to taking the damage.
That was real questionable from him because he didn't have mana for Surge, so he's nowhere to get out of there.
Yeah, and did get hit with it there, but I mean was super close to a double kill for him, so can't blame him for trying to commit to that one.
Yeah, I mean, I still think you just play that lane a bit safer, just for a couple levels, and then you just will have no trouble. To bully him out. Yeah, I mean they rotated the Witch Doctor down, but it looks like he's not going to do a hell of a lot here.
Absolutely. If we go over to the CS scores here, we see Sven and Invoker already taking a pretty big lead, and Duxia with a solid number of last hits for himself as well, trailing behind a wee bit. But in the mid lane, we're going to see this Winter Wyvern Invoker combo going down again. The Arctic Burn plus thing, Tornado goes down, finishes the Lina. And this is going to be a great kill for the Invoker on middle lane. I mean, Invoker, not a hero that you want to snowball early, and this guy looks like he's in a great position to do so. We're having this Winter Wyvern support. Looks like they're definitely setting him up, so he's going to just kind of put the other lanes on his back again and then get up in their faces and give them a really hard time.
Yeah, it's a hard lane for Lena because Winter Wyvern's going to be, you know, in the area, and she just has nothing to escape that massive range from the Arctic
super
Burn.
Hard from her. Would like to see maybe a more aggressive ward placement from the supports there, maybe up around this area. To try and give her some form of safety. Even like a ward here would be really strong. Just shutting down that Winter Wyvern's ability to rotate in, shutting down this river path here. Could be super strong. Base. Doesn't look like they've only got one ward down at the moment, but I may have missed it being dewarded earlier. If we just flick through their supports, we see that Witch Doctor does have one ward in his stash, but it's so good. And the Night Stalker has no ward, so it may have been dewarded. We do see one deward over here from Vengeful Spirit getting caught though up top, taking a couple hits, but it does look like the Darkseer is getting pushed back as well. He's still having a great time though. I mean, he's out CSing this Lina in mid lane. All the way up to 15 CS, chasing the Slug for CS, and the Slug has two supports committed here to helping him as well, who only have one CS between them.
I mean, the Night Stalker here is not doing a whole lot. There's nothing really he can do, honestly, against the Darkseer. I guess they just didn't expect that pick.
I really feel like the Night Stalker should maybe be off in this jungle, doing what the Witch Doctor's doing, while the Witch Doctor tries to zone this Darkseer. But in the middle though, Poe's going to get caught again with the Lina. Another combination of Cold Snap and Arctic Burn. Does miss the Tornado a little bit earlier, but Light Strike Array hits him. Can he get away? Fairy Fire going down. The Winter Wyvern steps back. Now the bottle. TPs are coming in from the Night Stalker, and he's going to force them away. Does catch it, and Witch Doctor as well, going onto this Winter Wyvern, a disastrous turn for them. She does throw down the Cold Embrace, trying to heal up a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be enough. She tries to commit to killing the Lina, but not able to do so. And that's going to convert into a kill for Lina. What a crazy turn of events there. I mean, just a slight overcommitment, a little bit too much confidence, and a Fairy Fire plus bottle charge from Lina, really turning that around there.
Yeah, that was good from her being able to drop all that regen. That's why you have Fairy Fires early. They're so strong. I mean, if she didn't have that, that's an easy kill. And I've just seen so many engagements that Fairy Fire has just saved people.
On the bottom though, Darkseer's getting a little bit low. We are going to see a paralyzing cast come out onto them, but
it does stop the surge. He's going to TP. We've got the pounce here though. That should.
Yep.
What?
No pounce.
No. I'm not
Maybe
sure.
not aware that pounce does in fact stop the.
Maybe a little.
Maybe not aware.
Yeah, a little bit of a misplay there from the Slug. They're going in on their Lina though, in mid again. This time no Fairy Fire, but it looks like she is gonna survive this one. Night Stalker just showing up. He's trying to utilize this night time as much as possible. He did get that kill before. It didn't go towards him, but he was involved. Maybe he'll think about rotating somewhere else. I don't think there's much possibility of a kill up top. Maybe on the Venge.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this Void is going to be doing a whole lot. Level 4 CS.
He's got a haste through though. Going in on the Winter Wyvern here. Giving him a few slaps, but it's going to take him a while.
It is also night, so definitely not something they want to engage in. Does only have 1 level in Hunter in the Night, 2 in the Void. I'm not sure I like this. I think I would have probably liked a little bit more on the Hunter in the Night there, but an interesting choice from him. And now they're going to try and go on the Sven, but Sven's just going to make a call.
There's nothing he can do there. He's just asserting dominance at this point. Yeah,
very difficult for them. Darkseer, meanwhile, has been forced to go back to base, and they are going to try and make another try this. The Witch Doctor coming around, maybe getting a safe ward down for his Faceless Void, and then move into the river. I think they're going to be looking for this Wyvern. Unfortunately, the Wyvern already knows that and has moved around, maybe looking to try and get a bit of pressure onto this Faceless Void. to give the Sven a little bit more space after that. But they are going to smoke around from behind and go for the Invoker. Lena does manage to dodge the Invoker set, and then he's going to take a Maledict. He's throwing down a Fury Fire of his own though, but it's not going to be enough. Maledict is going to get the kill, and Vengeful Spirit tipping and isn't going to be able to do anything. Not even really anyone low enough to try and get a kill on.
Yeah, he wasn't expecting those heroes there. He was actually trying to go for the kill himself actually on the Lena, so he really wasn't ready for that. Slight misplay from him not buying a second Fairy Fire. Like, you know, that's just level 1 stuff, right?
Yeah. I mean, 2 Fairy Fires, the basis of any good play.
2 greater than 1. That's what I always say.
Yeah. Any 9k Redditor will tell you Fairy Fire is strongest side of the game.
At the moment,
Sven though,
tier 1 top.
Gonna throw down the God's Strength to go for the tier 4, tier 1. Not a bad choice. Is heading for a whopping 150 or so damage right now. Just gonna do huge amounts of work with this great cleave on the creep wave, but 2 heroes coming in. They're gonna try and stop it, but Sven is able to get the kill. The time dilation does go down.
Turn around and fight.
Yeah.
I think he was worried about more heroes showing up, but I think they had vision on everyone else.
And Invoker's gonna go ahead and grab that illusion rune mid. Sven, keen to grab this 3 stack of creeps up top. We're about to see a huge jump up in his net worth, already at 53, 54 seconds with these. If we go over to the net worth there, we see that he's now skyrocketing ahead of this who's still having to deal with the constant harassment from Darkseer. Does now have level 6, obviously, a little while ago. So not such a problem for him anymore. He's going to take a few hits, but he can easily just kind of wander away and heal up the health once the Darkseer can't see him. Slark just becomes such a monster after level 6, and he's able to kind of just push this lane out and rotate quickly into the jungle, abusing that ult to get additional regeneration. So, I mean, just such a strong hero when he's played super effectively like that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they can do once they do get these levels. I like what the supports, specifically Winter Wyvern, are doing. On the side of Tyrant Esports, there's
just
big stacks there. Sven already cleared one, so obviously a hero like Sven, built in Battle Fury, he's going to be loving this, and that's going to skyrocket him ahead, and I imagine we'll see this pay off.
Absolutely. I mean, stacking's such a strong tool for any support, and something that, especially in like a lot of pub games, gets forgotten until you're at a higher level. But with cleave heroes like Sven, boy is stacking strong. I mean, just all over the show, able to stack constantly, and just get a great amount of work out of that kind of stacking. And we also see that I think maybe Sven, is it Sven? Yeah, does have the Helm of the Dominator, and we see down by the Ancients, the Forest Troll creep, also going to be stacking Ancients for him. So just stacking everywhere, looking to just get a huge amount of farm for the Sven, and we see it paying off. I mean, Sven rocketing is almost a 5k net worth at 10 minutes, so about 500 gold per minute, almost 1,000 gold ahead of Slark, which is a pretty big deal at this stage in the game, and the net worth graph definitely moving in favour of Tyrant Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, Paragon not doing a whole lot to put any aggression on this, actually. They're not pressuring towers, they're just letting them away with this, which...
Yeah, it does look like they might be aware of this, but I don't think they're able to do much about it at this stage. Kind of a difficult situation. I think with the Night Stalker having a little bit of difficulty in getting his farm, they're just not as strong as they could be. We see he's still on level 5. Sven up to level 9 along with the Slark. Slark actually doing a pretty good job on the XP side of things. Looking over at net worth, yeah, he has a pretty good net worth too. Is 1,000 gold behind the Sven, but doesn't have his entire team stacking camps for him. Could be difficult, but we are going to see a Faceless Void and a Night Stalker are going to be rotating top. Venge all alone there by herself, just TPing out, not having any of that, but then changes her mind, in fact, wants to have some of that. We do see both a Sven and a Winter Wyvern in the area, so, I mean, if they try to go in on this, this could go pretty badly.
Yeah, I don't think they know that bit here either. This is going to be a stun. Oh,
there goes the scream of... Scream, Wave of Terror.
I think Sven got fogged there. Looked like he was going to throw out the Stormhammer.
How unfortunate, but I mean, it would have been a hard kill to convert anyway. Night Stalker, often compared to a Panzer tank in the early game, just so much armor. Able to dive towers, take hits anywhere he wants. I did hear an EMP going down on the mid lane from the Invoker, but it looks like neither team were too keen to do anything. Faceless Void does rock down to say hello, but the Lena there not going to choose to do anything for it.
So again, both teams here, just happy to farm away for the most part. Which team do you think this benefits more? Also, Slight going for a Midas, so they're just showing even more so the fact that they just want to take this late.
Well, two teams this good can't be unaware of what's going on, and I think they have to know that Tyrant probably are getting a lot of stacks going on and stacking a lot for the Sven to be as big as he is. I mean, anyone can look at Sven's items and figure out kind of the rough net worth that he has, and when you see a Sven at 12 minutes with a Helm of the Dominator, Power Treads, and a Yasha, you know that he's having a pretty good time. But in the middle lane, we are going to get Lena caught up. She's going to get hit by the Tornado EMP combo, but not able to do quite enough there to get around. Winter Wyvern just not quite quick enough on the Arctic Burn.
Bottom lane though, Darkseek. Slark is going to land the pound this time. Followed up with the
Does get it. Silence and the Void there as well. Crippling Fear and Void, there we go. But Winter Wyvern coming in. Slark getting super low, and Darkseer going to try and do anything with it, but not able to do so. Slark throws down the ult, and they just rock away. Meanwhile, Angie Verona on the Invoker is going to be moving in onto this Witch Doctor. Sven throws down the Warcry though, and they all back away. Yeah, so and I think that they must know that the Sven is getting some killer farm. Now up to his Sergeant Yash. 13 minutes. So
that is a farm Sven.
A casual 8k gold at 13 minutes. So he is a spooky Sven right now. I would not want to meet him in a dark alleyway with about at least 10 guns. So they got to know that this is going on, and I think they got to know that Slark needs to be getting some huge farm to counter him. I mean, Slark is the hero to go up against him, is going to steal his strength, reducing his max health, reducing his damage output. So, I mean, they're going to want this Slark to be big. We see Void picking up the Blades, which is definitely going to help the Slark out. And he's probably going to grab that Midas as well to try and just put out a little bit more. I think already at 1500 gold. Really not sure what I'd like to see from Slark here. I mean, if he wants to go full farm, Yasha would be a killer item right here, getting that additional movement speed. With Yasha and Power Treads, I believe Slark has max movement speed when he's not seen by the enemy. He goes up to 522. So that could be very strong for him, able to just boost through their jungle, and probably even get in the enemy jungle and take some of that, preventing Sven from getting additional farm. And then he could move on to something like a Manta style, potentially. Yeah, maybe a Manta style. I mean, if he's really quick, he could dodge stuns with it. And obviously Skadi, the go-to pick for any kind of Slark. Just such a good anti-carry item. But we're going to see the Vengeful Spirit getting going on. Wicked Cold Embrace there, stopping the Night Stalker. Now an EMP's going to go down, but the Chronosphere turning it around. Mechanism coming out of Darkseer. Wow, that must have just came up. And now it's all going to haywire. Slark is going to jump onto the Darkseer, throwing down his ult. It's going to get this Darkseer along with the help of his Faceless Void. So that's going to be a 2 kills for Paragon there, and they're going to turn it into a third on the Broker. Wow, what a chaotic team.
Yeah, I'm not sure what was happening in half of that. There was two fights going on almost.
Boy, was there things.
There was a Chronosphere up top, and there was a Winter's Curse down the bottom. There was a lot going on, and it turned out Paragon, at the end of the day, came out on top.
Definitely. I mean, it was incredibly close though. This is really the case with a lot of high-tier Dota that you see. It's not a case of miles or even inches. Often it's a case of millimeters. That we're seeing, and I mean, we saw them go so hard on the Vengeful Spirit. A really quick use of Cold Embrace and Winter's Curse, keeping her alive. The Invoker commits in with a huge EMP Tornado combo, got 3 of them in fact, just burning so much of their mana, but Paragon just kept trucking on in, throwing down a couple additional ults, the Faceless Void ult being a pretty key one, catching 3. I don't know if I saw a Witch Doctor ult go down in there. Does not in fact even have ult, still only level 5, so that was a little bit optimistic of me.
Lena, mid lane, she's going in, but she didn't see the other 2 heroes there, and she's going to pay with her life. Or she could get it.
Cost of not seeing the other 2 heroes. The Invoker, though, is going to have to ghost walk away from this Roche, but Darkseer is going to be chasing Slark. This is pretty ballsy. But up a little bit further ahead, we see Sven, Vengeful Spirit, and Winter Wyvern all coming around. They've got the Warcry on them, and they have taken out Alina, so they're hungry for more blood. Slark, though, not interested in giving them that blood. They might take the Roche here, and they totally are going to go for it. They're going to blast on into that Roche. It is going to be spotted by Tyrant, I think, with this ward on the high ground.
Yeah, there's not much they can do here, though.
No, I mean, they're down 2 heroes, and they've pretty core heroes in terms of CC, and the Void is going to be too far away at top. We are going to see a Slark and a Night Stalker here, but I don't think they can go in against this many heroes. Not at this stage in the game, not without more farm. Night Stalker throws down his ultimate, but he is going to get EMP'd. And now the Cold Snap, and they're just going to turn this into nothing. And my god, this has been Blink Dagger with his Sergeant Yash at 17 minutes. This is a horrifying creature. 11k net worth on the spin.
Oh, he's doing wonders. This just shows you, like, how beneficial all that stacking was to him. He's just, he's well ahead of the Midas Slark. Well ahead.
Let's take a look at levels real quick. Spin at level 14, the Midas Slark at 13. Not even able to keep up with him with the Midas. And the next highest player is Lena at 11. Spin blinking forward, another Stormhammer though, and the EMP combo. Lena's going to get cycloned up, but I don't even think that's going to be enough. The Tornado's going to follow it up, and I think Invoker can just finish this off himself. That Light Strike away is going to hit him though, and now the Witchdogs are getting caught, not able to save his friend. Night Stalker comes in. Does he want to go into this fight as well? No, it does not look like that is the case. Two more heroes rotating around there, the Slark and the Faceless Void. Big heavy hitters, and with a Faceless Void ult here, they could actually maybe get a couple kills. Arxia doing a sneaky drop of those Arcane Boots to get a Soul Ring off as they just go in and walk right and pound down this thing.
Yeah, this team Tyrant right now is a scary beast. Sven, like, you can't even approach it because the Sven has a blink now, so if you're up too far, you're just going to get caught out.
Definitely, and Darkseer has a mechanism on top of that. I mean, that's crazy. He was having a, not exactly the easiest lane, but not a super hard lane, but still have a Darkseer had the mechanism, I think, like 5-10 minutes ago.
Yeah, he's had that for a while. I mean, that's just what you get as a Darkseer. Just with essentially free offlane farm, because you just chuck down the Iron Shell and sit there.
Yep, Sven's going to go ahead and take this bottom tower with a big push. His entire team's going to be smoked up in the jungle, and oh, there is a tasty looking Lena right there for him. The EMP Tornado combo is going to go down. There's the Cold Snap along with a wave of terror. She's going to cyclone herself up. That delightful winter cyclone.
Still no death ward from Witch Doctor.
Yep, and a nice paralyzing cast there from the Witch Doctor will actually save her. But no death ward. I really think, and this is something that I've observed quite often, to be honest, in these Australian New Zealand Dota games, our meta does not put enough emphasis on making sure your supports have levels. This is a level 5 Witch Doctor at almost 20 minutes. This is not okay. Like, regardless of what you're doing, if you see Witch Doctor's level 5, only just getting level 6 now in fact, at this point in the game, you need to be getting him some levels, because look, here comes the Sven, he's going to blink in, and he's just going to frig him with a Stormhammer, chunking him through almost half of his health per hit. And this is not a great thing. I mean, spend more than double the level of the Witch Doctor, and a consistent thing that we've seen across a lot of these CyberGamer matches, something that we've seen a lot, you really have to get your supports that farm, otherwise they're just dead weight.
Yeah, also the Paragon lineup sort of relies on it. It seems like they've built this team around sort of that Chronosphere Death Ward combo. I mean, you've got the Lena there as well, but Slark can't do anything while they're in the Chronosphere unless you get it really lucky one right on the edge. Alright, we're about to see one drop now. Sven spots it out though and blinks out of the way. So they're going to see this coming.
EMP is going to dissuade them. Slark's going to jump in, but it's going to miss the Winter Wyvern and go into the trees. She's going to be silenced, but now the Invoker's coming in, throws down the Urn Charge in coordination with the Cold Snap. And this could be the Witch Doctor Death Ward that we've been waiting to see, but he's not interested in throwing out. The Cold Embrace goes down on the Invoker, keeps him up, and he's just going to be wailing on this guy. And now the Faceless Void going to 1v1 the Sven, along with the Lena. Sven down to half HP, but I'm not sure he even cares. The Death Ward finally goes down. Try and convince the Invoker to leave, and he is going to get caught out now. A pincer attack, but he does have an Aegis of the Immortal. And there is a big old Sven and Vengeful Spirit looking to come in right here. Immediate Tornado, but he is going to get stunned by the Lena's Light Strike away. She's going to Cyclone herself up. But that's a dead Lena if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, that was a very scrappy engagement again, very hard to follow. I still think that comes out slightly in favour of Paragon, but I think that's just because they're so far behind. They didn't get any of the cores, I mean, unless you count Darkseer.
5k gold behind, I mean, they're not massively behind, but the problem is that looking over at this net worth, we see that the 5k gold difference is almost entirely to spend a whopping 4k ahead of his opposing Slark. And even the Slark is like 2k ahead of everyone else, so that's a super scary scenario for Paragon right here.
Now he's got BKB, so there's no stopping him in these fights. The only thing you can do is commit the chrono for it, and even then you're probably not going to kill him during that chrono.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be thrown in that chrono death ward. I feel like potentially a minor mistake in the draft. They've committed to this void Witch Doctor scenario, but if you're going to commit to a Witch Doctor that's going to want to be using death ward and chronosphere, I really feel like that Aghanim Scepter is a super strong item to have, and keeping that in mind, I have to wonder if potentially taking this this Night Stalker as a 4 position and giving the Witch Doctor a 5 position was too greedy from Paragon.
I mean, I don't think it's their entire draft. It's a good portion of it. They obviously want to have some team fight there. I question the Slark pick. It worked well in that last fight just because it was so scrappy and that's where he thrives. But I think the game that Tyrant are going to play is they're just going to run at you. They're going to get Aegis, and then they're going to come for your towers. And Slark in that situation doesn't do as well as, say, a Sven, who takes a lot to take down. And he's got a good Chrysalis finish now as well. Holy crap.
And having a great cleave in fights like this, we've got a Winter Wyvern on top of that with the Splinter Blast. You've got an Invoker who's throwing out a lot of AoE damage. You've got a Vengeful Spirit who can wave and tear on multiple targets. They're just going to put out so much ambient damage onto these heroes, like so much damage that's just going to be in the area, hurting people.
Yeah, they've got a lot of control as well from their 2 supports, which is really nice for them. So they can sit right at the back, even if the Sven or the Invoker get initiated on, they can get saved. We saw in that last fight, Invoker got chronosphered, but just by himself, and all the Winter Wyvern had to do was throw the Cold Embrace on him, and he was absolutely fine.
Yeah, and really interesting in that fight that Witch Doctor didn't choose to throw down the Death Ward, because I do believe it is magical. No, it's a physical damage, so it wouldn't have gone through it. Wow, rough. So Winter Wyvern, actually, much more than I previously thought. Massive counter pick to this. I mean, the only person able to really do a lot of damage through it being the Lina, and she can't really burst down these heroes. Lina actually an insanely strong hero, but once she gets kind of behind, she doesn't have the same effect. I mean, Lina really thrives when she makes a hero disappear right at the start of the fight. And I mean, the only hero that she can really make disappear right now is going to be that Winter Wyvern. And Winter Wyvern, such incredibly long range as a support, can just sit miles back behind her carries and provide so much support to them.
Looks like we might be seeing a smoke here outside Paragon. They are all grouped up, but it doesn't seem like they have a great plan. Maybe they were just waiting to see whether...
Just unsure of what's going on. They do have...
And taking it themselves.
They have pretty limited vision too, so pretty hard for Paragon right now. We see the...
We're about to see how long Roche is away. Still a little bit. So they might be looking for a kill here. Nightstalker's been sitting in these trees for a long time. He's becoming one with the forest.
He's playing with the long sneak game.
Sit in there till your throne's being attacked.
Gold game.
And then they're really questioning life at that stage.
Yep, and the smoke is going to expire. They do spot out the item there, but Sven immediately going to throw in a God's Strength. As the smoke expires, I'm just going to go in.
I don't think they had a ward there. I'm surprised.
No, they did. They did have a ward there. There was definitely a ward there. They did de-ward there.
Ah, yeah, that would have been why. Have they picked up a gem on the side of Tyrant?
I do not believe so.
It's just been some good sentry work from a Vengeful Spirit there.
Yeah, no, there's a sentry on them.
They have found the Night Stalker. His long game.
He did briefly step out to try and push this tower.
That was his mistake. He should have stayed in the trees.
Kept leeching the golden experience given by creeps walking past you.
You know you're in trouble when you're sitting in trees for 2 minutes just to leech XP.
Yeah. It's not there either. The lane is pushed quite a way back. So an interesting strategy. I mean, could definitely be like lag or disconnect real life issues.
I mean, you'd expect them to pause though, right? If that was the case.
Well, I mean, who knows?
We got Void building towards his eggs here. He's almost got it. He's a couple hundred gold away. So they could take a good fight here if they get a good chrono. Oh, Slug playing with fire there as he blinks away from the Sven.
But on the top lane, we are going to get the Faceless Void caught out. A nice vacuum combination with the Invoker and Darkseer. I have to give it to Tyrant. They've done a great job of working this Invoker into their lineup. I mean, Darkseer are actually super scary because those Iron Shell ticks are going to proc Cold Snaps. And I see that Invoker has also picked up Urn, a personal favorite of mine on Invoker, because Urn will proc Cold Snap on cooldown for the Cold Snaps mini stuns. So I mean, just makes him a solo killing machine, and he's combined it with the dual Scepter of Divinity and Orchid melee ones. This guy is a 1v1 monster right now. I'm amazed that we don't see him just in the jungle constantly looking for anyone who takes 2 steps out of their base to make him disappear.
Yeah, that's why Paragon playing so far back. They're just so scared. The pick-off potential from Tyrant right now is insane. They've swapped someone to the high ground.
Yeah, they've swapped the Lina onto the high ground. But she's going to get absolutely demolished. They are going to try and do anything against this, but nothing is going to happen. So Lina is going to disappear, and there's their only way to deal with the Winter Wyverns called Embrace. They're going to go ahead and get this tower again. Wow, it's going in one direction at this stage. Net worth over 10,000 in favour of Tyrant now. At the 27-minute mark, if we go over to the XP as well, 6,000 in favour of Tyrant. So, I mean, this is moving in one way very fast. Looking over at the net worth for each hero, 20k net worth on this Sven. He is a big, scary motherfucker. Daedalus on the spin as well, and he just blinks in, goes ahead and makes this nice little disappear.
Here's the combo.
He's gonna get...
Death Ward is not going down apparently.
No, they just can't do it. Now the Death Ward goes down, but a little bit late. He is going to get swapped there. We're going to swap a Darkseer closest to them. I'm not sure about that choice. And this is going to be a massacre. This spin is huge. Only on half HP, and he goes to get almost... It's the witch doctor
to take him down.
More than half
Tyrant playing very aggressively now.
The Laguna Blade is going to take him out, but I don't think they can keep going. This is a big Lina right here, but I mean, the Wind Wyvern's going to throw down the Winter's Curse. Lina's going to get caught. They might make Hondrake disappear on the Witch Doctor here. They do so. And now they're on this Night Stalker, the Winter's Curse, and Angie Verona diving deep with the Invoker, but he is going to back away. They're just going to take these barracks. This is a tough position. I think the Sven probably overcommitted a wee bit there. I think this could have been a GG situation if they had been a little bit more careful. That was an easy 2 towers.
I mean, I think they're just having a bit of fun at this point. They're obviously in front in a commanding position, and Sven just asserting his dominance
Up to
on their fountain.
22k. So, 22k.
Yeah, Tyrant just really showing why they're in position 1 right now. They're playing some great Dota here, showing you why they're one of the best teams in the Oceanic region.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we see why they're at the top of the ladder right now, huh? I mean, a 22k Sven, that's approaching like a 600-700 net worth. 600-700 GPM.
So even Sly with his Skadi, there's not much he can do against this lineup. There's too much control from them.
Sven is just too far ahead, and even the Invoker has overtaken the Slark now. Invoker doesn't even have the Midas. Just the gold of constantly being in these fights and winning them so convincingly is pushing them further ahead. As Invoker goes ahead, picks up that Aghanim Scepter. We're going to see some big combos coming out from him now, and we do see that he has got a Quas Wex build. So they're going to be putting out some big tornadoes. As we get closer and closer, though, we're going to start seeing those huge deafening blast sunstrikes. Just really make people disappear. But, I mean, he is really being a support right now for that Sven. The troll looking to maybe get a trap. Yeah, he did get the trap off.
So Paragon was looking for the Roche fight there. I think that's where their team fight does shine, with the Chrono and the Death Ward plus Lina. So they wanted that fight in a desperate situation, but Tyrant just wasn't in there. They're not too phased about the Roche, but they might come back for it now.
Yep, they are going to do so, and here we go. The Slug's going to go in and try and take out this Vengeful Spirit with a nice catch there, but a huge wall from the Darkseer is going to stop them. The Void is going to go on with the Chronosphere, but can't even manage to kill the Invoker there, and it's going to get caught out. Winter's Curse with a Deafening Blast, finishing him off.
Slug's still not going down though. That's the GG.
There they go, that's a good game. That's a good game. And Paragon going ahead and leaving the match are going to give up.
I mean, can you blame them? I think, there was a lot of ways they could have come back. Unless they had some
Definitely
amazing
a great
miracle
game here that we've seen between Paragon and Tyrant. Tyrant taking over the match and retaining their #1 position on the CyberGamer Esports. The CyberGamer ladder there. Once again, feel free to check that out at cybergamer.co.au and feel free to check us out, Clutch Gaming. .co.nz. I am Wandering Beer, and here with Mads. We'll see you guys in a second for the after-match analysis.
It was.
All right, what a game that was between Tyrant and Paragon there. Now for the post match analysis, Mads. How you feeling?
I'm feeling like we just watched, just someone get brutally beaten, in the worst possible way. No, it wasn't. It wasn't that bad. I over exaggerate. But I think Tyrant definitely showed us their ability to play Dota. But I don't think it was completely the plays. I think it was more the outdraft, in my opinion, or the lack of drafting in Paragon's side.
Yeah, definitely a fair call there. I mean, turning point in the match for you.
Turning point was probably the pick screen for me.
Yeah.
And that fifth pick, I'm not 100% sure what they were going for there with the Slark, because once, I mean, I'm not sure what they were aiming for. I don't think they had the better late game. And they were just content to farm. They built a Midas on them, so they were happy to take it a little bit later. But meanwhile, on the side of Tyrant, they had stacks. They had Sven happily farming, uncontested, with zero pressure almost for the early game there. So, yeah, that was probably, if we're talking in game, I would say probably at around like the 12-minute mark, where sort of the game just stagnated. That was what turned it for me.
Fair enough, absolutely fair enough. I mean, what do you think they could have done instead of that Slark? Where would you have gone with that draft?
Like I said during the draft, I would have liked to see a gyrocopter,
Yeah,
purely because it works so well with Faceless Void. You get
absolutely.
you get him to about 6, 7, 8, and then you can rotate him in. You can push towers. You can take fights. You get pickoffs with the Void, especially if you use the Night Stalker to its full effect for the vision, really, which I didn't see a lot of in that game. And
yeah,
then
he was building towards the eggs.
Yeah, and he never got it, I don't think. Maybe just at the end there.
No, I don't think he did. When he was having his chill out meditation time in the trees, he was only up to the Ogre Club and the Point Booster, I think. Not even the Point Booster for that matter, just the Ogre Club, so was a little way away.
Yeah, I like the way Tyrant played that game. They knew that they just wanted their Sven as farmed as possible. My MVPs were probably the supports on the side of Tyrant.
Definitely.
The Winter Wyvern did a lot of work for them, stacking, and a lot of saves as well, which is, again, goes back to their picks. That Winter Wyvern pick was great. The Vengeful Spirit pick was great. They just, I think they just really outdrafted them.
Winter Wyvern, definitely my MVP for that match too. Some really amazing cold embraces, doing some great saves. And like I said during the match, I mean, Dota at this kind of level isn't a game of miles or of meters. It's a game of millimeters. So I mean, it's really difficult in those situations where it looks like it was a stomp, but really it's just tons of little things adding up. And unfortunately for Paragon, it was just tons of little things from Tyrant adding up. These constant stacks, always getting them ahead. These great team fights that were going in their favor, and they made just great use of their map. Slark, I don't necessarily agree that Slark was a total bunk pick, but I think Slark had to keep up with Sven, and he just wasn't able to.
I mean,
really
the pick could have worked, but they had to play it a little differently.
And unfortunately, they got a Darkseer picked straight back into him, which is a disaster for a Slark, Night Stalker lane. And Witch Doctor, for some reason, wasn't quite there to push the
exactly
Darkseer
right.
off. And on top of that, just wasn't able to get any levels. I mean, he tried to do the roaming thing and kind of stack / deal with camps, but all that ended up happening was they had a severely underleveled Witch Doctor, less than half the level of the rest of the players in the game. Just not able to do anything, and that Witch Doctor, like you said, was super key to their strategy. But I do think it's going to be about time for us to wrap up. So from us here at Clutch Gaming, thanks so much for watching. Once again, and the final time, constant plugs here from us. CyberGamer.co.au for the ladder. Check it out. Feel free to register if you want to play any matches in the Australian New Zealand scene, or keep an eye out, see if there's any big matches. You can see if we're casting or not. You can follow us on Twitter, ClutchNZ. You can follow us on Facebook, Clutch Gaming NZ. And you can also check out our website, www.clutchgaming.co.nz, where you can request casts for both tournaments or single games. Just let us know and we'll get back to you. We get the emails and we'll schedule in a caster for you, whether it's myself, Mads, Understudy, or any of our other casters. If it's a bigger game, like a tournament, we do have a team for our analysis desk who can come in, burn a webcam and fill some time in between. So love to hear from any of you guys. But from me here, you have a great night.
Thanks for coming, guys. We'll see you next time.